morning, bells and bows. This is Heather Marzigliano, and we are here Tuesday, 9 a.m. on Dixie Belle's page, and we're going to be doing a project. I was with you guys last week, and I showed we're going to be doing these tables. They have a brand new marble top, and, well, it's not brand new, so these are vintage tables. I'm actually going to scunch back a little bit. So they had the marble top, the owners before us had them redone. So they are vintage, redone. So they're nice and clean, and they've been brought back to life and all the good stuff. So I don't want to get rid of them. Normally I don't do as much with marble, but they were in such good condition that it kind of felt like a shame to get rid of the marble, especially because when you have like the marble top, it's nice because you don't have to worry about scratches or spills or nicks or cleaning or any of that stuff. So why not make them awesome? So what we started out with is I took the marble top and put it aside, because why even mess around with it, right? If it's, we're not painting it, we're not touching it, just take it off, put it somewhere else. Now we don't even have to worry about it. It's off our list of things to do. It's off our mind. It's off everything. So then we're left with the base. So these bases are super light because now we don't have the marble top. So this is all we have to worry about painting at this point. What we did off camera, actually this morning, is I had it right there. I took my white lightning and I put it in, I put one bucket with white lightning in it and a rag, and then I clean. Then I take clear water and a rag and I wipe back any of my white lightning residue or anything like that to make sure that everything is kind of off. So that's my cleaning process, and we do that to make sure that there's no dust, oils, dirt, anything like that that can get on our pieces, because that's what our paint is adhering to. So you just want to make sure it's super, super clean, because if your wood is here and then in here you have, say, fingerprints or dust or anything like that, and then you put your paint on top and this slides, guess what? Your paint's going to slide and it's not going to adhere properly. So you want to make sure it's super duper clean. So we did that. Then this is not real wood. There's literally no porous surface. There's no grit to it. There's no texture. So then what I did is, this is fun. It's like one of those cooking shows. I just get to like speed through it because I already did some of the stuff. I took Slick Stick. So this is what Slick Stick looks like. And I just did a super thin coat, nothing crazy. I used what did I use? I used a chip brush, and I just got a nice thin coat of Slick Stick to start. So that's where we're up to this morning. I also ran around my paint storage because I was trying to decide what colors we're gonna do it. And at first, I started seeing like some of that, and I thought, oh, it'd be fun. And I pulled like all my grays out. Let's see if they'll stay.
Kimberly has a quick question.
Sure.
How long do you let everything dry before painting after you clean it with the white lightning in the water?
I started this project at 8 a.m. and I cleaned it, I watered it, I took a paper towel, I wiped back any of the water, I put my Slick Stick on, it's super dry, we're gonna get going. So I tend to keep moving. If this piece isn't like glass, it's not like the slickest thing in the world, I just added it just in case there was an issue. If you have a piece that you know is just no pores, super shiny, super slick, absolutely ridiculous, then like you can always let it set for a couple hours or overnight before you put paint on it. But this project, I feel, is totally safe to just keep going, and it's nice and dry. So I pulled out all the grays because I thought that could be fun. But then I thought it would maybe blend in too much with this and be kind of like neutral, 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 which can be fun, but like, I don't know. It wasn't what I was going for this morning. So then while I was back there, I realized that I wanted for sure to use the hammered copper gilding wax. See how that looks pretty with the marble behind me? So I wanted to use this here to bring out all of this copper. Hopefully you guys can kind of see what I'm going for.
You can see it.
Okay, so once I decided this, I decided that what will look really pretty with that is Antebellum blue. So I decided that Antebellum blue is going to look awesome with that top, with the copper, and it's going to make these super special and not just neutral, neutral, neutral. Not that all neutral is bad. I used a lot of neutrals. It's just not what I was feeling this morning. So we're going to make them pop. We're going to make them stand out. We're going to play into the marble because I really want, when you put that marble down, I want that marble to jump out and be super special. I also brought out Caviar and Dixie dirt in charcoal so that I can put stuff down here. No, you don't like Antebellum blue? I promise it's going to be pretty. I promise it'll be pretty. I just paint so much gray.
It'll look sharp. Nice
that
contrast.
I think colors are coming back in. I hope that colors are coming back in. Bright colors are coming back fun. So I want to play in color. The nice thing about it is it can always be changed. Nothing is permanent, right? So
Amber's vote was Caviar.
oh, for the whole thing. We just did, Margaret is actually behind me sealing this huge Caviar hutch that we just did for a custom client. And I think if either one of us had to work with Caviar for one more week, we would both maybe lose our minds. We like to change things up here. So we've done quite a bit of neutrals lately. But I promise these colors are going to work. And it's going to be cool. So, actually, Margaret, can you do me a favor? The camera's kind of a little weird.
Yes. All right. So let me focus on my phone because I'm on a lag.
All right.
All right. So, am I going? Where do you want me to be?
Actually, you know what? It'll be all right. Never mind.
I think you will actually, because like looking at you right now, it's okay.
If I go this way and kind of paint backwards, it'll work out.
Do you want to paint backwards?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Okie doke.
Slide this out of my way now. Holy heavy. Okay. Marble's officially out of our way.
Linda would like to know if there is an eggplant dixiebell color.
There is. Purple's so fun. I mean, it's not like eggplant, but I'm thinking more like Anastasia. Not Anastasia. Aubergine.
Yeah, the aubergine is nice.
I've used aubergine a lot. That's a really pretty purple.
And I bet even if you mixed a little red in with the aubergine, you'd get that like reddish,
like the reddish
tint.
eggplant.
Like the yeah.
I think these are gonna end up really fun and bohemian.
Beautiful.
So the slick stick is white, so obviously whatever's down first before your paint, when you wipe it back, is probably going to be underneath there if we ever sand it and stuff like that to distress it. I know that going in, and I think that that might end up being kind of cool. So that was part of my decision making, was knowing that there was this shot that this white was going to pop up. So we're just going to go ahead, and I'm painting my first coat.
Oh, here's a fun fact. Aubergine is French for eggplant.
See?
There we go.
Then we were right.
That is a fun fact. And Linda, or no, wait, was it Linda? Where did that comment go? There's something about, Blue Salute is popular in the UK and emerald green. I don't know what Blue Salute is. Do you know what Blue Salute is? I don't know if that's a different brand or
no,
just a
but I
color.
know that like blues and greens and all that are coming back, and they're being awesome lately. And I think that Antebellum blue is like a really fun mix of the two.
So Marianne missed the beginning. Did you use Slick Stick or Boss?
I used Slick Stick, and I just did a super thin coat, just because the tables really were a little bit extra slick. They didn't have anything that was going to bleed through or be crazy. They were just a little bit on the slick side, so I didn't even go crazy and do like 2 coats or anything. I figured just 1 coat would be fine.
Theo from the UK is watching and says, good morning.
Hi, Theo. This is a pretty color, guys. I like it so far. I think it's going to be pretty with the copper. So I'm just working my way around the table base, getting the first coat on. We actually, if you didn't know already, are doing a contest right now that's ending tomorrow. So I do 4 o'clock every Wednesday on Chalk Paint 101. And that's where I'm going to be announcing the winner. I'm giving away the entire flea market home decor paint line to one of the people that subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Grace on Broadway. So if you haven't already done that, you still have a full day to do it. The best thing I can tell you about chair legs, table legs, is to make sure that while you're working on your piece, you constantly turn your piece. Because as much as you think you can see it and you got it all, there's going to be a spot that you might accidentally miss. My cart's helpful, but right now it's in the way.
Christy, I would like to know if you need to lightly sand the Slick Stick.
I don't. I didn't now. All that stuff, Dixiebell paints, you don't have to sand in between each coat or anything like that to get it to work. The only time I would suggest maybe doing something like that is if you're a very heavy painter and your paint lines are super prominent because you put on a lot of paint. But the way to avoid any of that is to just not put on too much paint. So if you do nice thin layers, there's no need to do that. I've never sanded between coats, ever.
So Paula just did a vanity that was 100 years old in Antebellum blue with gold trim.
Nice!
She said it sold immediately and it was gorgeous.
See?
And I bet it was.
So we're doing about the same concept, just copper. And I'm betting it's going to be pretty. So underneath here, there's all these details. And then there's also the inside of the table that I'll probably hit up with at least 1 coat just to finish it, because we are going to be selling this piece. I'm not going to do 100% of the finished painting with you guys, but just know that before I sell this to someone, I'm going to flip this upside down and finish it. These are also my paint leggings, which is why I can use my knee as a table rest. But unless you have your own paint clothes, I wouldn't start resting painted furniture on them. I've also figured out that most of my clothes are my paint clothes. I have very few things that are not covered. So we're just going to go around. This actually has really great coverage. It's a good coverage color so far.
Ava Slick Stick was used as the first coat on there. That's all the white that you're seeing.
Yep, one thin coat of Slick Stick. Nothing crazy. Just getting in all these little spaces and all these little grooves.
Kimberly would like to know where you find your pieces to paint and sell.
Oh, that's a fun story.
That is a fun question.
So you can read like my whole bio and all that fun stuff on my website. I think it's on my page too. But the super short version is I met my husband at an auction where I used to go to buy things to sell at flea markets. And after we met, during dating and all that fun stuff, he has a clean-out business. So he goes into people's homes that are moving or transitioning or all different reasons in life, and they're getting rid of stuff. And we help them downsize and move. So then he kept coming. We ended up having a store where we sold everything. And at the time, I sold mostly vintage clothing. And he sold all this stuff that he had given people credit for. So it's not stuff we're getting for free. We're still giving them credit for buying it. And he sold it in our store. We were dating at the time. And I kept seeing it all come into the shop because I ran the shop and it was brown and boring and stupid. So I went on a mission to find paint that, in my mind, people were going to come in and buy his brown, old, yellow, whatever color furniture, and you were going to pick out the paint and you were going to go home and you were going to paint it all yourself because I didn't know how to paint. And this was back in 2000 and end of 12, beginning of 13. So I started looking and looking and looking, and back then we did not have 8 million paint companies. Not 8 million, I'm a little dramatic. I don't know if you guys know me yet. But there was not the options that were available now. There was not Facebook groups like there are now. There was not Facebook Lives. People were not freely giving information on how to do this stuff. It was a very different atmosphere, right? And I started looking, in Google and all that stuff because I wanted a line that was reasonably priced, made in the United States. Like, I had this idea, I knew it had to exist. And that is how I found dixiebell. And then it was in the store, and I kept getting all of his furniture, and it got to be winter, and winter's pretty slow in some stores up here, especially that winter, because we were getting snowstorms every Monday. So that means that customers aren't typically flocking for antiques in the middle of a snowstorm, but you have to be open anyway. So I started to just kind of paint, and I had some friends that knew how to paint, and they gave me some pointers, and I grabbed some friends, and we went to my grandmother's house on the back porch, and I said, you know what, we're going to figure this out. We could do this. And we just started painting. And then people started buying the stuff that I was doing, and I bought more paint, and the rest is kind of history. I've been working with dixiebell exclusively and carrying it exclusively and for 7 years now. And I just keep doing more and more and adding to what I do as a career. But I'm excited that part of that is that I get to change a little bit of the tone of the industry that I stepped into. And what I mean by that is I get to be here on days like today showing you guys how I paint. and helping create an industry where we want everybody to succeed and grow, and we want to give you guys the information, and it's not so secret, or so uber competitive that only one of us can thrive, right? So that is the very long and short story of how I get the things I paint and kind of who I am, especially since we're just literally painting Antebellum blue at this point. We still own our cleanout company, so we still get the pieces, but that also means that I don't always get to pick the pieces that come in the store. They kind of find us through Ed's company. Every now and then I'll pick something on purpose from somewhere. But part of the teaching is super exciting. We have the Bells and Bow Tour that I'm one of the founders of with Pam. And that, Atlanta is in 11 days. Ah, so exciting. And there are still tickets to that. All right, we are.
Gina would like to know why you use the slick stick.
Why did I use slick stick? So, I only use slick stick if I feel like something I'm painting has no pores, no grit, it's not wood. This is not wood, it is just a composite. So if something is very shiny, or glass, or like Formica, you can use slick stick to help with adhesion. But even though this was not wood and was a good candidate for slick stick, it also, I don't know, I felt like it wasn't the shiniest thing I'd seen in the whole world, so I just did like a thin coat. I didn't do 2 coats, I didn't go crazy. I just did 1 quick coat of slick stick. And I have to say, the adhesion has been pretty awesome so far.
Amanda says the community is why she loves dixiebell.
Right? It's awesome.
So true.
I love it too. And I'm super happy that I get to be part of it. So while I'm finishing up all this part and we're moving on, please feel free to ask me anything about the paint in general or me. Right now I'm just fixing a line that I saw. So when I'm doing tables, or really any project, I just always keep looking, keep turning it, keep kind of double checking yourself, because it's easier to thin out a spot or fix a drip or any of that stuff as you're going than it is later on. So I'm just always conscious. Look, I just put my hand in it. Someone to fix that now.
Diana would like some info about tickets for Atlanta.
So you can go to www.bellsandbowtour.com and you can grab a ticket. The classes being taught is I am teaching. We're making a tray that is provided by Cyanopoly, which is a company that has like the most fantastic wood cutouts. And we're going to decoupage it with recycled papers. And then we're going to add wood trim around the tray with Would You Bend molding. And we're going to use D-Lawless hardware for our handles. Brandy Cullenborn is going to be working on some old books with you guys and teaching you a technique on how to make it look like, it looks almost like stone. It's super cool with sea spray and some other fun goodies. Pam Haskins, who founded it with me, she is working with John Durock, who's the owner of Apollo Sprayers, and they're actually building a spray booth and going to be teaching everybody hands-on how to work with dixiebell and a paint sprayer. I mean, how awesome is that? And you get to learn from the guy who created the system, and Pam, who sprays every single day of her life. Oh my goodness, my nose is so itchy from the weather. It's been crazy lately. Then Hannah from Surf Prep, and Bruce Davis, who's just like the smartest man in furniture renovation is going to be teaching what to look for in a piece before you buy it. So before you get home, what to look for to make sure that you're not going to have like huge issues. He's going to teach how to fix some of the everyday issues we all encounter smarter and easier. Hannah's going to be showing the surf prep sanding line and how that can help cut back time in prep and in finish work. Kristana is coming across the big pond from Germany, and she is going to be teaching on charger plates, the molds from Redesign with Prima, and Crackle. Dew Dodson is going to be there, and she's going to be teaching photography and how to get the most out of your money with your pictures and how to set them up, how to stage them, how to put your watermark, how to do all the things with your phone. And then during lunch, Sandy Harbor is going to do a paint pour demonstration. So she's going to teach how to do a paint pour. So it's going to be like so much learning in one day. And I am so excited. And I'm also kind of jealous because I legitimately want to take every single one of these classes. I'm teaching, so I can't take the classes, but I really genuinely wish I could because there's going to be that much information. And then also, everybody gets a swag bag, and in the swag bag is something from each of those sponsors as a thank you. And there's usually discounts on buying stuff from our sponsors. We have a cash and carry. We sell t-shirts. It's a really full day. And the girls all get to know each other and they get to know us. And I can say that everyone that came for the most part in New Jersey has been able to stay in touch with all of us after. And it's been a really fun networking experience for everybody that way. And I've seen some really great friendships happen. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do, I kind of call it like a coat and a half, because I'm not going to do a full thick second coat. I'm just going to kind of take what's on my brush a little bit and do a second coat.
All right, so we have a number of questions.
Of questions.
So I'm
gonna
just start
Go
reading.
for it.
Okay. Okay, let me get back to my spot. Is there a clear slick stick?
No.
Okay, just Boss.
Just
right?
Boss.
Okay.
Yes.
There's question number 1. Linda would like to know, does dixiebell paint hold up outdoors? So I think that's more of like a sealer question.
That's more of a sealer question.
Right.
And how outdoors too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you talking about a table that's going to be on your porch and get some weather, or are you like literally throwing it in the field? Either way, I say yes, it can be fine. I would put gator hide on it though, because that is the top coat that is water resistant and water repellent.
Okay, so next question.
Mm-hmm.
Tammy wants to know, are you getting close to California for the tour? Is there a schedule?
We are hoping to come up with any future dates here in the next couple weeks. So there's none announced. When we started it, we started with New Jersey and Atlanta and decided that based on ticket sales and interest, we would see if we could keep going.
All right. And Renee wants to know, do you paint underneath your pieces?
Yeah. So I'm still going to do underneath and I'm going to do the inside. I was just hoping to be able to do this outside layer for you guys during our time frame.
All right. And in regards to Bells and Bow, Diana would like to know, will they be able to take all of those classes?
Yes, you get 100%.
Your schedule.
That's your schedule. No matter what. I can't tell you which class would be first or which would be last, but that is what the ticket includes, is 100% of those classes. It also includes lunch. It also includes your swag bag, and you get coffee and like Danish type stuff in the morning.
Okay.
So we're gonna feed you and we're gonna teach you.
Tammy would like to know if there is a tutorial out there for stains and all the different types. So like voodoo, top coats, etc. Also proper brushes to use and how to care for the brushes. Washing them, what to wash them with.
Oh,
those general maintenance.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos out there. I know I've done some of those topics, and most of my videos at this point are updated on our YouTube channel, which is Grace on Broadway. But if you go to YouTube, and I know Dixiebell has their page, I know Pam Haskins from 44 Marketplace, she has a great page, Kristana has a great page, Brandy has one. So you could literally go to YouTube and look up any of us and find all of the videos we've done. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of those topics have been covered at some point already.
Okay. And what is the cost of the tickets for the tour?
The tickets for the tour are $3.95. And again, it includes all of those classes, most of which also have projects you're taking home with you. So you're hands-on learning, you're not demonstration learning. And it includes your lunch and like a breakfast and afternoon snack.
All right, we're caught up.
We're caught up.
Dixiebell helped out too. So sorry things got redundant there.
Oh, no problem.
A little repetitive.
So I'm just going to go over and make sure this is like a little bit more solid because that's the look that I want. And then while I've been working on it, I've already kind of decided that we're going to go forward with the Dixie dirt instead of adding Caviar for the lowlights. So what I'm going to do, because now we're obviously getting close, but it's cool because we got to chat about a lot of things. And I feel like you guys got to know me a little bit better and some of the stuff I got going on too. I'm going to finish this second coat, finish the sister table's second coat. I'm going to do underneath and the inside. When we come back next Tuesday, we're going to sand it back a little bit to bring up the white from the slick stick because I kind of want it peeking through in some spots. And then I'm going to add the dirt. So you're going to see how to use Dixiebell dirt. And we're going to add the gilding wax and basically finish up. So I'm going to take the time off camera to get this ready for that so that next week we can start with like a ta-da moment and go over those techniques. So today, if you're kind of jumping on or wondering where we started and where we finished, we did, I cleaned it off camera with white lightning. Then I cleaned it back with just clear water. I wiped back my excess water with paper towels. I painted a coat of slick stick. Then I came on camera. I chose Antebellum blue instead of neutral. And I did basically a coat and a half to get a more solid look.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to get it in before we left. Sherry would like to know if the intention for the marble top is to leave it as is.
Yeah, I'm not touching the marble top. Before we got this table, the owners had just had it revitalized or whatever it is that you have with marble. It was renovated and brought back to brandy new. So it's clean, it's shiny, there's no stains, there's no scratches. So I figured let's just kind of enhance the marble and play into it a little bit. Which is why I wanted to go for more color on the base. Because we're going to use copper gilding to pull out the copper that is in the marble.
And Merce just jumped on. She'd like to know where you are located.
I am in a little town called Bangor, Pennsylvania, which is in the Northeast. So we're actually really just a couple miles from New Jersey. So that's where I am. My store and my information is tagged in the description if you guys want to head over there. And just know that we're still doing the contest up until tomorrow. I'm picking for the flea market home decor line. I'm giving away the whole thing to one person. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm gonna keep going, but look at how rich this color is already. I think it's really gonna make that marble pop out. I'm super excited. See, there's a marble behind me. That's gonna be pretty. All right, so we're gonna pull it all together next week. Thank you for hanging out with me this week. I always go back and try to answer or acknowledge as many of you guys as I can in the comments. So if we already answered your question live and I come back in and I type the answer again, it's just because if people are reading the comments, I want them to be able to see it, and I want you to feel acknowledged, because we certainly can't go through every single question or hello live. So I do try to do that usually before the end of the day, but if I don't get to you and you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at any point through my page. I'm happy to help. And I think that's it. So we will see you guys next week, and we'll do all the extra finishing work. So thank you for being with me, and I'll see you soon. All right. Bye, guys.